Guys, we waited long enough for this test. Finally, we have the new Ram Heavy Duty on the world's toughest towing test.
And this Hemi has an 8-speed ZF transmission. We'll see what it does going up and down the mountain, pulling 14,300 pounds of trailer.
Fully loaded. So, same thing, same procedures we've done with other heavy-duty trucks. We're going out of the tunnel on the downhill at 50 miles an hour.
Yep.
And then we go between 61, as soon as it hits 61, and we go down to 50. So, and then we count brake applications between 60 miles an hour and 50 miles an hour, and then we compare how they do.
Yeah, this is a pretty rough road. It's been beat up by all tire chains. This winter with all the semis, they kept coming through here because, you know, nothing stops the semis. I ran out of runway.
It's okay. Do we have space?
Well, if I can move over, and I got a good spotter back there that's helping.
Okay, that's it. Let it go.
Okay.
The thing about this run, the reason why we've been waiting so long,
right,
is because this truck has an updated latest transmission.
Yes.
There you go, 61.
Okay, 61.
So let's see it how it downshifts.
But we're running. There we go. There's one shift.
As always, this IkeGauntlet run is brought to you guys by our friends at Transwest. I'm right here in Frederick, Colorado, and I need to hook up this gooseneck Freedom trailer from Cimarron to the Ram truck. Before I do that, I need to fold the tonneau cover. So before I actually back up the truck to the trailer, this truck is equipped with a Chimsel camera, basically on the back of the cab, a camera looking down at the gooseneck ball, which is great, but the tonneau cover, even in this position, is blocking my view. So really quickly, let's pull it off and put it in the trailer.
As always, we're using a Gen Y hitch. This one is a torsion coupler, and it's called a low profile because the main tube can go up further into the neck for these tall trucks that we have nowadays. So it gives you a little more room and still have that nice torsion flex of isolating the truck from the trailer, making a better ride for your rig. This one's rated at, I think, 25,000 pounds and a 4,500 pound tongue weight. It's the real McCoy. It is a Freedom toy hauler from Cimarron. 29 feet long. It's got 8'4" wide. It's got awesome aluminum wheels on it. It's a very high trailer, so it's made to go off-road. It's got a ramp on the back, inside the trailer. It's got a big garage door on it, AC, all that. In a living quarters, you can camp out in this thing in the wilderness. That's the way I go camping. Back in the working part of this Freedom trailer from Cimarron, it has our water in here. This is what got us over 3,000 pounds of ballast. A big square tub and a little round barrel. That's how we got to 14,300 pounds. This is so cool back here. This is where you load your four-wheelers. You got the E-tracker on the outside edge to tie everything down. Your side-by-sides, small Jeeps, all of that. Even got a place to eat breakfast. But the coolest thing about this trailer is it's the fastest trailer on earth because it has this really cool wing on the back of the trailer.
This truck right here stacks up quite well against the competition for 2020. It is a 2020 model. It's a crew cab with a 6'4" bed, standard bed length. It's a four-wheel drive, and it's got these 20-inch wheels with Firestone tires, but it also has the night package, which means you get blacked out everything, including the headlights, the grille, the taillights, color-matched bumpers. So I think it is of a sexy beast variety.
Go 61.
4.
Yeah, this thing is picking up speed fast.
So it's not being very aggressive.
No, I mean, we got in tow haul mode. The transmission is supposed to help us shift down, hold the RPMs longer,
yeah,
hold them at higher RPM, and it's not really doing a hell of a lot right now. I thought this 8-speed would perform because the 6-speeds have done pretty well for what they are. We're going to have another brake application. This one's going to be high. There's 61. I'm going to take it down to 50.
It's number Here's the story. The reason why this is a highly anticipated truck is because we've asked for it months ago to compare it against the GM heavy-duty trucks with gas engines and also Ford heavy-duty trucks with gas engines. And because of scheduling conflicts and viruses, we had to wait until now. But the engine under the hood is still the good old 6.4 liter HEMI V8 with a rating of 410 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque. So the power hasn't changed, but something else did change.
And behind this monster HEMI, we have a ZF automatic 8-speed. And the rear axle ratio is a 373. Let's see if that works pulling up the mountain. And you can tell it's picking up speed.
And this is a 373 rear end.
Yes.
You could also get a 410.
Yeah, the 410, we'll see how it goes up the hill, but I remember the old 410, I liked it. There we go. So how much was that?
That was 13.
This is going to be a world record pretty soon.
But the negative side.
So we'll have to get a special award for this truck because this is very surprising. We're towing 14.3. We are at maximum towing.
Yes.
So this poor girl, we are working it to the max.
Yeah.
And that's one thing.
Well, this is why this is the world's toughest towing test.
I know, and we're proving it now for sure. Somebody pushing us back there. Get another brake application.
14.
Oh my gosh.
And we're almost done. It was a little bit of a hair-raising experience because we hit 14 brake applications, which is one of the higher number for heavy-duty trucks.
Yeah, and in tow haul mode, doing everything we're supposed to do, I mean, that's going to be hard on your brakes. Look how many times we use the brakes. And we've used the brakes more on this truck than any truck in history.
And for some reason, it didn't want to give you extra RPM.
No, it didn't. The tow haul mode, you couldn't really feel it. If you were watching the RPM, you wouldn't see much notice. You wouldn't see it move.
So can you do me a favor and use this button to downshift manually? See what it does for you.
And
go to third.
Third. Okay, there it went up to about 4,300 RPM.
So, guys, what I would recommend, and you might agree, if you're doing this by yourself, you know, not on camera comparing trucks,
right?
Shift manually. Maybe go to third.
I totally agree. And on this, what we're learning about this truck, especially, I think it would be very wise to manually shift it.
Yes.
This Freedom trailer is for off-road. So you haul your toys in and you go out in the middle of nowhere. But look at these tires. These are big old tires. These are load range G, so they're 14 ply on aluminum wheel. And this has got 7,000 pound axles, but they overdid it on the tires just so it can climb the rocks and not beat up on the trail. And it's got torsion axles, so you got plenty of clearance underneath. They really tucked everything up, so it's made to go out in the middle of the wilderness and enjoy it. Now this has a 3,000 watt inverter. It's got a generator on it. It's got all the kill switches. This has even got a fan for the inverter. This is truly a Freedom trailer. Such a cool living quarters. You got all these dash dials, turn on your lights, turn off your lights, run everything. And you can sit, you can eat, you can sleep. What else do you want?
So we're starting at 35 like always, and then you put the hammer down, reset your computer.
Yes. There's 30.
I can hear the HEMI roaring, and also the fan, the cooling fan.
Yeah.
Ready, and hammer down. Nice, you got it. So the thing about this engine, it's been around for a while, right?
Yes, and it's loud right now. At least it wasn't that year.
And I think what's happening here is we're hearing also the cooling fan.
Yeah.
Although it's not a hot day, I mean, it's 60 degrees here in the mountains. Yeah. But guys, this is a high elevation test, world's toughest towing test. 8-mile run, 7% grade. We're going to an elevation of over 11,153 feet. And a naturally aspirated gas engine struggles up here.
And I'm finally getting to 60 miles an hour. It took all that time to get there.
Well, that's okay. It's just, you know, as long as you can keep it, just keep the hammer down.
Yeah, we got tow haul mode, so we're trying to do all the right things. Yeah, it is pretty loud. Of course, we're running with 4,800 RPMs.
Oh, there it is. The fan came off.
Yeah.
Let's do the sound check. Put the hammer down again.
Yeah, we finally got in the sweet spot. .9. So still within limits. Yeah, that's not bad for, you know, we're wrapping up pretty good over 4,000 RPM.
Although this truck has a lot of luxurious features, a lot of driver assistance features, a lot of towing features, it still has really good payload. 2,823 pounds to be exact. Almost 3,000 pounds, which matches pretty closely against competition. And also a maximum towing rating of 14,300 pounds. And we've got this puppy loaded to the max because this is the world's toughest towing test. This updated interior you see here has been around for about a couple of years, and this is not a Longhorn with wooden inlays or limited with other styling features, but this is a Laramie, which is kind of their luxurious mid-grade edition, but it still has a lot of optional technology equipment, including this giant 12-inch vertical infotainment system. It's got the premium Harman Kardon stereo system with 19 speakers, comfortable seats, but the cab is still a little bit older generation. It's not the same as the latest Ram 1500 cab, so you don't get quite as much rear legroom in this particular cab, and you also don't have that panoramic sunroof option. In order to compare this gas-powered truck to the others in the class, we're not using adaptive cruise, but this truck does have it. You can select it right here and control the distance from you to the vehicle ahead, and it will also use the braking system to slow you down, but we're doing everything manually today.
Well, you know, this has got a 373. I think would have better performance with the 410, but you couldn't get as what you got. So like pulling big trailers,
we can only ask, right?
Yeah, and that's what I would do if I was pulling bigger trailers. I would recommend the 410.
Absolutely, especially with a gas engine.
Yeah, that's true. You need all the help you can when you run gas. And this is an 8-speed, so the gears are closer together than what the 6-speed was. So that should help you somewhat.
You also have a wider range of gearing, so that's always good. Well, come on, just downshift a little.
Below 45. I'm 44 miles an hour. We're not going to pass this semi.
It's okay, we will.
I'm going to have to weave in and out of all these cones to get us up to speed again. My foot's
to the floor?
On the frame. Yeah, I'm touching the frame right now. I can't even go 40.
You can go behind the truck.
Well, I can't either because the Jeep's sneaking over.
Oh, there you go. You got power.
Holy cow, it downshifted.
Go. Just keep pushing it.
You know, that's what I was going to tell you on my way up here.
Yeah.
It didn't downshift going down the hill like I wanted it to. So, yeah, I would pump the gas, take it off and hit it, and then it would downshift.
Okay.
And so that's another thing. We talked about coming down the hill, how you would want to put a manual transmission. I would also suggest when you can't get it to downshift to let off the gas and hit it again, and that forces it down.
Yeah.
These Ram towing mirrors, they have a really good reach, but a little smaller glass. But they fold out. It's not power fold, but they will fold in under power. And also, what nobody else has, they have a power spotter mirrors. We love those. You can actually adjust it on the go, so you can see where your trailer tires are, the end of your trailer, and all that. It's very helpful. We'll see that happen to some other OEMs, I'm sure. But yeah, this one, power folds in, manually folds down.
So once again, we're comparing against the Chevy Silverado 2500.
Yeah.
With a 6.6 gas. There it goes. 10 brake applications.
Shipped it there, yeah.
11 minutes and 53 seconds.
Yep, 2.4 miles a gallon.
11 minutes and 53. And also against the Ford F-250 with a 7.3 big gas motor.
That's true. We missed the IkeGauntlet, but we got it when we got it.
9 brake applications in the big 7.3. 8 minutes and 42 seconds.
That's quite a bit better than the Silverado, isn't it?
Yeah, 11 minutes that truck did, 11:50. Wow. So, guys, this is quite remarkable how this engine performed with the 430 rear end.
But and this has the adaptive steering. I'm trying to think now of how it feels, because it's supposed to make it a little stiffer when it's higher speeds and lighter when you're parallel parking.
And yeah,
and Ram's always had great steering.
Right.
I've always appreciated the steering on their heavy duties.
And also, it just changes the effort a little bit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's what it does.
There's like an electric motor that helps out a little bit.
Yeah, so a lot of times when you're highway speeds, it'd be nice not to have power steering. And that's kind of the theory here with the adaptive steering.
How are the temperatures doing? Hold on. Oil temp 249, transmission temp 195. The transmission is cool.
But yeah, it's still waiting for the engine to catch up to it, I think.
Coolant temperature 212, that's really not hot. Oil pressure 52. I mean, that's all good stuff. Normally I would be out here with a measuring tape, measuring the amount of distance that the truck squatted with this full weight that the trailer is putting on it, but not today because of this ram air suspension. This truck is equipped with rear air springs, and it does a couple of things. First of all, it makes the truck and trailer level. You can adjust it a little bit. It's automatic. Also, you could lower it to hook up the trailer to the truck. It's convenient, and also the ride is pretty nice, because when you put maximum payload on a truck, sometimes it starts hitting the bump stop and riding rough. Not the case here. All right, so you see the big fat thing? That's the air spring. And the bump stops are actually up here, they're black, but there's still a lot of space, probably more than 1 inch between the axle and the bump stop, so comfy ride. Okay guys, so we're over 8 minutes. 8 minutes would be a perfect run. It's 60 mile an hour run.
Wow.
We're approaching 10 minutes. So push harder.
No, I was expecting 11, but if we hit 10.
Can you go in the left lane again or no?
No, there's traffic.
Where's our spotter? Is our spotter helping us?
Oh, now he is.
There he is.
There he is.
He's helping us.
We're
all right,
almost
guys.
to the end.
Yeah, right here. We're getting close. It's still trying really hard. Maximum elevation right here.
Yeah, 44 miles an hour.
Look at the MPGs. And the clock stops now.
2.6 MPGs.
10 minutes, 29 seconds. Basically 10 and a half.
Beat my 11.
So it beat 11. It's quicker than the Chevy, but not as quick as the Ford. Well, that was pretty exciting because, you know, we had a little bit of traffic, and we did a good job. I mean, you did a good job.
Well, so do you think that the future might mean that the Ram would get a bigger displacement gas engine in their heavy duty?
That was the rumor.
That was the rumor?
You know, 7 liter was the rumor, but I don't know what they might do. They might use still the same engine, the 6.4, but boost its power a little bit.
I remember when it first came out, I was pretty tickled with it. I got a big kick out of the 6.4 those first few years. And now, you know, it seems like it's, of course, if it's beating Chevy, we can't complain too much. It's not in third place, it's in second place.
As always, at the very end, we do our subjective scores. We get 25 maximum for each reviewer, and my score for this truck today is 22 points. We have 5 categories: squat, handling, interior comfort, mirrors, and technology. And I think this truck is hitting it out of the ballpark on almost everything. Great ride, but I took 2 points off for the mirrors. I think they could be a little bit larger, and I just don't like the flipping motion because I have to kind of reset my brain every time I flip the mirrors. And I took 1 point off for the seats. I feel like I'm sitting way too high, my head is hitting the ceiling, but that's just my problem. That's my score.
Well, my score is very close to Andre's. Now, I gave it a 5 for squat because it's the only one out there with air system on it. I love the air system on this, and on 3/4 ton, 2500, it's true air. Handling a 4, I thought I did very well. Part of that is the air system. Gives you a soft ride. The rear anti-sway bar gives you really good control. So the mirrors, you know, I love that spotter mirror. That should give it a 5 just for the spotter mirror alone. It's power. But the mirrors are a little smaller on the main glass, so I gave it a 4. Towing tech, again, back to the air. I give it a 5. Interior, I mean, I love the 12-inch screen. Who doesn't? The problem, you know, part of that is that it doesn't have telescoping steering wheel. But I gave it a 3 for all the interior part, and part of that, too, is it's the smallest cab in the market of the crew cabs. My total score makes that out at 21. I'm just 1 point different than Andre.
Are you ready for the final score?
Yes, I want to know. Which one?
Yes, so when you combine the downhill performance on a regular scale, uphill performance, fuel efficiency, and time, and our subjective opinions, 69.5 points. This Ram did better than the Chevy.
But not quite as good as the Ford. Now, the one thing I got to correct you on this, because we've kept talking about 14.3 is what we're towing, 14,300 in this trailer. Didn't we tow more with the Chevy?
Yeah, the Ford and the Chevy towed 16,000, and that was because of the rating of each truck. So it's not an exact apples to apples, but I hope you can see exactly how the truck did. And where do they go if they want to find more accessories and truck stuff?
MrTruck.com, or Mr. Truck TV, all those kind of things. But you know what? We got to do this again with the 410 rear ends. I think that's going to make all the difference in the world on this truck, having the right rear end, not that 373.
All right, guys at Ram, if you want to send us a 410 rear end truck, we'll run it. And go back to tfltruck.com, of course, as always.